Oh, hello everybody, this is Maniac for Bricks. I'm here today on the Extras channel with the behind the scenes of an upcoming project. This is something I'm hoping to work on with the Happy Meal toys from McDonald's. I've been recently reviewing their ones from the late 90s, and I'm hoping to make a little stop motion animation with the combo models with them. So what I've already done, I picked out the smallest of the combo models they show in the instructions, and tried to figure out which sets are going to be used in that, and I'm working right now on an animation for it. I've already done all the filming for it, and I know I can't really show it to you right now because I'm on my laptop recording this, so it'd be hard to move that around and get to show you everything thoroughly, and I can't show you on here because I'm working from here. So basically what I did was the area next to my laptop, you guys know it's usually the overhead area for the desktop. I set that up with my camera, with this camera, inside of there with the regular camera stand I used, made out of Lego pieces. It's hanging over two green 32 by 32 base plates and covers pretty much the whole frame. It might get a little bit outside of it, but it works out pretty well. And what I'm trying to do right now is do the editing process so I can be sure that all the frames line up. Now, I'm only doing this a little bit at a time. So I'm actually starting with the McDonald's logo because I thought of a fun animation to make that. And then I'm going to bring in the actual models. They're just going to roll up onto the screen and tear apart, like piece by piece. So when you actually get to see it played back, it'll kind of flash quickly, but I don't want to make it too quick. I've only worked before with 10 frames per second. And if you're someone familiar with animation, you probably understand what that means. And to those of you who aren't, basically it means making this stop motion animation, I have to take a picture of each movement and little by little make it all come together. So even if I was to have something like my hand here and my hand over here, I'd have to take a picture here, 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 and here. All those pictures would be lined up together and put into a stop motion program. I'm personally using iMotion. This is one that I heard about from a fellow YouTuber called Brick Adjuster. You might have known him. He makes a lot of stop motion animations, and this works out really well for him. So I thought I'd give a try at it. And basically, just working with it a little by little, and it's actually going pretty good so far. I know I can't show you everything on frame because I'm looking at it while I'm editing this, but basically right now I'm working on the McDonald's logo. You see a blank screen, and then the McDonald's logo by brick appears, kind of like you see in some of the commercials, where it kind of splits from the middle and comes out into a big M shape. Now, I don't know if this is something from the current commercials, but it's something I do remember from some McDonald's commercials. I think some of the ones in like the 90s, maybe the thousands had that kind of thing. Maybe even the modern ones do. I forget. I don't pay much attention when those come up on TV. But basically, I'm trying to make that out of Lego pieces. I have a whole bunch of 1x1s. These are not in order, and it basically has each 1x1 appearing frame by frame onto the screen, and then they start to arch. You know, they come in the middle, arch upwards, and then go down to the sides. Stays there for like a second or two, and then you see them get deleted the same way. I thought that would be a pretty cool effect, and I tried to work it pretty well. But here is a rough look at what the logo looked like when I had it fully assembled. This was the M shape, so you'd have this one show up first, then this one, then the ones on the sides. And then it'd be kind of like this, and then this, and then that, and then that. Remember, there's a picture for each one of these, and then that, and then that. Now, there are a few cheats in here. I have some 1x2 bricks, and basically, when I have some of the bricks that are lined next to each other, in the middle, in the corners, or even on the sides, I just use the 1x2 brick to replace the 1x1s that are already placed in there. So that way I can use other 1x1s to show 1x1 that they're going on there. I know it sounds repetitive, but just trying to explain the process. If you're not familiar with brick filming or stop motion animation, and you might be interested in it, this might be some helpful things. I know I'm not an expert by any means. I've only worked in the past on maybe 3 or 4 animations at most, and most of those were done at 10 frames per second. Usually that's on the lower side of what usually a lot of well-known YouTubers who make brick films do. Brick Adjuster works on something like 15 frames per second, which is actually pretty good for getting the good motion between objects happening. I'm just starting to get back into it and seeing what works for me. So, let me see if I can show you on the screen a little bit of what I'm doing. I have the frames put in, and there's a button on here. This is actually a very neat function, and I really like how this works. In any given frame, it gives you a whole bunch of options. I don't know if it shows up on the camera right. It's not really showing up on there, but it shows across the screen: capture, hold, select, copy, paste, paste reverse, and delete. These are a lot of great options that you can use for inserting your frames or making new frames, or editing frames that you already have. You can't actually do any drawing in them, but as far as editing frames, you can hold, and that's a button that allows you to hold a frame for a number of frames. It says here hold 2 items for right now, so that means that particular picture would last for 2 frames in the animation. I found out that it was kind of fast in doing that, or no, it wasn't fast. It was kind of going a little slow. With 10 frames per second, and if it's holding for 2 frames, then it's roughly running a fifth of a second. Actually, it's exactly running a fifth of a second, if the math works out right. So, I'm going to change it to 1 frame per second, so that it makes it a more smooth animation of and not just like it was doing before. Again, I know there are probably better ways for me to show you these things, but right now this is kind of an impromptu behind the scenes. So, there's a lot that I still have to master with this technology. I have only recently looked at this app, and I'm sure there are a lot of other functions that I could utilize in it. But for right now, I want to try to get through some of the basics, and perhaps on the extras channel, you will see this short animation show up on there. Or maybe I'll have it animated so that you get to see the actual models coming in and breaking apart brick by brick. So I'll try to do that, and I can't promise how soon that any of those tests are going to go, how soon until they're uploaded, or even how soon that the whole animation will be done. Now, the thing with the animation is that's only part of the video that I'm working on. It's a combination of live action and stop motion. So basically, the stop motion just introduces the stop motion introduces the models that are being used for the combo model, and they just break apart. And then it just fades into what best I can do for the combo model. It doesn't give you instructions. It just shows you one picture from one angle. And I'll try to do a bit more research as to how I'm going to actually assemble this, so that in the final cut of the entire video for the combo models, you'll basically see I have an introduction for it, which I already filmed. And then I say, okay, I'm going to work on this type of combo model now. And then it shows this stop motion animation. Then it'll cut back onto what I've best tried to do for the custom, for the combo model, explain it a bit, what it looks like, and give some thoughts about it, and then say, let's go on to the next one. And then it'll have another animation, maybe a few more roll in. And if they overlap in terms of using them, I'm probably not going to do the same thing with rebuilding the model and then taking it apart again. I'll probably just bring in some other ones, so that way I don't have much more filming to do, and it still gets the point across. These are sets that are being taken apart for combo models, so it should work out nicely. Now let's see how this runs. I have all the frames worked out, so let's take a look. I don't know if you guys can see that from here. Might be a little too bright, considering the fact that this is a webcam I'm recording this from. But here we go. I think it looks okay. I feel like there's something missing, though. Oh, you know what was missing? I said that this was going to be the full M, and I noticed that halfway through here, I actually took out the bottom piece on the M, Now, I don't know if that makes it bad. I don't know, between these two, what do you guys think? I think it looks okay for now, but I can still play around with it. All I basically have to do is just move off whatever is there, and then take another photo, put it back in here, and then keep working on it. So, I hope this wasn't too long of a video in trying to explain what I'm working on, and this is, again, something that's going to be planned for the future. I've only started actually working on this now, but the idea itself has been worked on for quite some time, trying to figure out how am I going to get it working, and what's the arrangement going to look like, and things like that, even prior filming. So, hopefully it should be good stuff after that. So thank you for watching this video, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope I come back again to show you more behind the scenes.